Hey, Kyle and Blake here, back with our full review of Madden NFL 12. We talked a little bit on Tuesday. Go back and watch that video, by the way. It's a gem about initial impressions, and a little bit of gameplay. Today we're talking more gameplay and franchise mode a little bit more. So let's step right in. Gameplay, much improved.
We've had a little bit more time to play it over the past few days. The gameplay, you're going to notice a lot of more fluid animations, running backs breaking tackles, receivers going up and getting the high passes. Also, as we mentioned on Tuesday, a few things from previous years still sticking around, not glitches, but old stuff that should have been phased out by now.
Yeah, and, the commentary, we've already commented on the fact that it really hasn't been updated in a couple of years. You can tell they didn't do a whole lot with it this year.
They didn't do much, but you can notice times where this year's commentary seemingly was recorded in a different area than last year's.
Touchdown! Number 78 is guilty of moving early. The Packers.
Playing on the road, always a difficult place to win. What does the traveling team have to do?
Let's talk about franchise mode.
Franchise where a lot of players are going to spend the bulk of their time building their champions through 30 years, winning Super Bowl after Super Bowl.
I have no idea how you're going to do it with the Texans, but good luck
Texans,
to you.
Cincinnati, it's going to be tough for them. There are a number of additions to franchise mode this year. The bulk of them take place in the preseason and the postseason. In the preseason, every week after your games, you'll be cutting guys, trimming your roster from the initial 75 down to the 53 by the time week 1 rolls around. So it's important to play those preseason games and get a feel for those fifth-string receivers that you're going to need to play special teams, just like a real coach would. One of the problems we encountered is that, say, especially with the Houston Texans, for instance, Andre Johnson, stud receiver, best in the league.
I am going to totally agree with that statement.
In the fourth quarter, because he's the fifth best cornerback on the team, he's subbed in at corner. More injury risks. So something you might want to consider is playing with injuries off during the preseason. Avoid your stars getting injured in positions they shouldn't be playing.
All right, well, that covers the preseason and general season. Let's talk about after the season ends.
It's all about the draft and free agents. Just like in the NFL, you've got to do your scouting, and there's an exciting new free agent bidding mode, sort of like eBay. Once you enter, all the free agents are there, and you can instantly place your bids. And you can see a little clock saying how much time is left on each guy, and you can see the other teams outbidding you, just like you would on eBay. There's no buy it now, unfortunately. But you'll have to watch that clock and sneak in maybe when there's 5 seconds left and snatch up a prize free agent. It's a lot of fun. It can be a little hectic, but it's a welcome addition to the off-season free agency.
I think the only gripe we had about it was the fact that it was all heavily text-based. It kind of felt like you're playing a, choose-your-adventure game back on an old,
It does have a little bit of a text sim feel to it. But it's new and it's different, and maybe we'll see it evolve over the years with a little more personality.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about online play. Online's been around for a couple of years now. But is there anything better about it this year than the years past?
New to this year in Madden Online is online communities. It's where you can get a group of friends, anywhere up to 2,000 if you have that many friends, and you can create sort of your own little leagues, not necessarily a franchise mode type league, but a room where you can set your own rules for time, difficulty, many other details. You make it password protected. It's to avoid those little 8-year-old brats that play every day and have mastered the cheese plays and glitch the game. You can create your own room, have protect it with the password, have your own fun with your own friends. It's a welcome addition and a lot of fun.
Maybe we'll have some of those 8-year-olds leave fantastic comments on our video today. I really welcome them. So let's just go bottom line here. Is the game actually worth it for both the huge fan and then the casual gamer?
If you're a huge football fan and a huge Madden fan, you probably are going to get it regardless. Madden's the only pro football game in town. By default, it's the best. This year's game is not bad, but it's not great. It's a very good, and if you're a football fan and a Madden fan, you're going to like it. If you're a casual fan, maybe you haven't played Madden in a few years, or you only buy it every other year, you may want to wait until it goes on sale. I wouldn't say that for just casual football fans it's worth the full $60. If you can find it for $40, maybe in a couple months, it might be worth your time and your dollars then.
Yeah, it'll drop down one of these days anyway.
Just like games do.
Yeah. You can always leave us comments on Twitter. Kyle's TV Kyle. I'm Blake the News. And we'll see you next week.